Roll the dice and choose your fate. Or rather, choose your neckline. Last week we talked dress theory and I showed you my spreadsheets. So if you saw that video, then you likely know how this one ends, but it is time to see how it goes. Someone tell me it's gonna end well, because I don't know yet. Armed with this level of organizational inspiration, I believe that I can make a randomly selected dress that turns out decently, like wearable, possibly even nice. So we're gonna put that idea to the test today. I need dice. We don't have a lot of games in this house, but there have to be dice somewhere. Yahtzee! There's even a little dice as decoration. This has 2, right? Or 4 or 5? Oh, it's got a lot. I'm set on dice. I think I only need 2. These cute little games were wedding favors at my brother's wedding. What an adorable idea. Oh God, don't die. We're starting with the dolman sleeve design spreadsheet, and if that goes well, then I will attempt the raglan peasant sleeve version as well. Spreadsheet, come to me. There she blows. Yeah, no category has more than 12 options, so 2 dice will be plenty. Because of course you needed like a first-hand view of the rolling of the dice. Category number 1 is fabric. There's only 2 choices, knit or woven, so I have to roll the dice until I either get a 1 or a 2. Okay, let's aim for the table. 4. 4. Are these weighted? 4. Oh my God. 6. 3. 5. Oh my God. 2, which makes it woven. Now we are choosing the type of woven fabric, heavy, medium, silky, or sheer. I got a 4, which means we're doing sheer. Great. It's kind of the one that I didn't want. Now, because it's sheer, we have to do the lining category, an attached lining, a detached lining, or no lining at all. I got a 1, attached lining, ugh. These are all the ones that I did not want. This is the problem with doing randomly selected. Neckline has 10 options, so we need both dice for this. Oh God, if I get turtleneck and I have to make a sheer lined turtleneck. Please no, please no. Give me something easy. Okay, so in this instance, I'm gonna say 1 doesn't exist. The first option is 2 and it goes up from there. That way I can get the first option. Yeah? Oh God, why am I so bad at rolling dice? I rolled a 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a square neckline. All right, I'll take that. I love a good square neckline. Now we're doing the back neckline. Back neckline is low with ties. This is getting interesting, y'all. Low with ties means I can do it kind of any shape that I want, but with dolman sleeves, if either side of your neckline, or especially if both sides of your neckline are pretty low, the sleeves will kind of just fall off your shoulders. Like on this, the back neckline here is keeping the sleeves where they're supposed to be. If the back neckline was as low as this V right here, the sleeves would want to slip off my shoulders more. So if the back neckline is super low, it's best to put like a little tie kind of midway up on it, and that just keeps your sleeves from falling off. So that's apparently what we're doing. What's next? Sleeves. 5. 5 is 3/4 length sleeves. So because they're 3/4 length, we can roll for sleeve shape. If they were no sleeves or cap sleeves, you jump to the sleeve addition category. 2. 2 is a bell-shaped sleeve. Y'all, this is gonna be so random. Now we jump to the sleeve additions for longer sleeves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 options. I got a 6. Elastic cuff. So if you put an elastic cuff on a bell-shaped sleeve, it's not gonna look bell-shaped anymore. But that's still what we're going with. I am already realizing what a weird-ass challenge this is going to be to draft, and like, I don't know, it might end up looking really cool, but it might also end up looking ridiculous. Waistline. I got a 6, which is no waistline. We're making a caftan apparently. So because there's no waistline, we're skipping the next category, which is the method of cinching the waist. There is no method because we have no waistline. We're jumping right to skirt shape. I have a 7. Godets. Huh, this is gonna require some thought. Skirt length. I have a 6. T-length. Hem style. I only need 1 dice. Nope, don't have that much. 2. Asymmetrical hem. I'll be honest, I don't know how an asymmetrical hem would work with godets, but theoretically, it's possible. Now we're on slits. I don't know why this skirt would need a slit, but none is an option if I roll a 1. Hello, can I roll a 1, please? I mean, I guess it would be fine to put a slit in it. It's not much difference. 4. What are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. A slit in the back. Sure, you know, at this point, why not? Skirt extras. Here's what I'm gonna say. There's only 2 options here, ruffle or flounce. I really don't want either of these because I'm already doing godets and an asymmetrical hem. So if I roll anything more than a 1 or a 2, I'm counting that as none. I'm not gonna re-roll. But if I roll a 1 or a 2, then I have to do it. 6! No skirt extras. Thank you. All right, and finally, pockets. I got a 3, which is square patch pockets. Sure. You know what? Sure, why not? All right. So that's our first dress. You know what? I started this idea with like, what a fun way to get creative with a design. It won't be too weird. Woven sheer, attached lining, square neckline, low back with ties, 3/4 length sleeves, bell-shaped with an elastic cuff. No waistline, godet skirt, T-length, asymmetrical hem, back slit, and patch pockets that are square. Yeah, sure. I am fascinated to see if I can make this dress look normal. Time to find out! Even though so many design elements have been randomly selected for me, there's still a lot of decisions I had to make on this dress, starting with what sheer fabric I was gonna use. I wanted something I have a lot of just so that I don't have to like scrimp and squish too much, as well as something I like but don't love. Cause you know, this dress might end up being total crap. This navy floral lace sort of thing is perfect because I have a bunch of it that I got at Remainders way back in the day and I had totally forgotten about it. I'm also possibly gonna use this not quite sheer but translucent enough to count fabric as the godets. I can't decide yet because I really do like this fabric and I really don't want to waste it, but also I've never been able to come up with a good idea for it. And finally, I'm gonna line the dress, because the dice have required me to do so, with white material to really make the navy lace stand out more, and also because I didn't have enough navy blue lining material, so it's a design choice. The basic dress is super easy. For these dolman styles, I always cut the front piece and the back piece on the fold as a single piece each. Amount of fabric I have available allowing, which again was why I wanted to use a big ol' stretch of material here. Now, although I have included it on the spreadsheet as an option, I wouldn't highly recommend doing sleeves past the elbow in the dolman style in a woven material. Stretch material, all good, go for it. But without that stretch, I think it's gonna just be sort of constricting. You can always do a drop shoulder and then add on a sleeve piece to turn it into a longer sleeve, and I think that would give it more movement. But that is not what the dice asked of me, so we're gonna go for it. 3/4 sleeve, bell-shaped. This is the shape I consider bell, with trumpet being this shape, but of course, because we are adding an elastic cuff to this sleeve, it's basically gonna end up looking more like a 3/4 length bishop sleeve. I'm gonna cut the hemline straight right now at T-length as required, and then I'll throw in, or rather trim off, that asymmetry once I have both the front and back cut out. And then for the shape of the dress, I just wanna make sure that at its smallest, it can still comfortably fit over my bust. So I'm doing it 24 inches wide on both sides, giving me some wiggle room to spare, I think. And then I'll just slightly flare the skirt out because I've decided to interpret the godet requirement as 2 godets in the skirt, one on each side seam. I think it'll give a fun look. I don't really know though. The necklines were easy, just to square on the front piece, and then I didn't feel like doing a low V on the back, but then I also didn't want like a big scoop either, so I sort of split the difference with a rounded V, I suppose you could call it. With front and back cut out, we need pockets, square as the dice have demanded, so I'll do a double layer of the lace and the lining so that they're not only stronger, but also super easy to construct. Last thing I need out of the lace, except maybe those godets, is a little strip of fabric that I can turn into the ties for that back neckline. Now for that lining. This piece of white lining material is chopped up rather oddly, so I'm gonna default to a white sheet that I've been using a bunch. We don't need much lining material because I'm not lining the full length of the skirt or the sleeves, but apparently we still need more than that. Good thing I haven't touched the bottom sheet yet. Trim off all that elastic first, attempt to jump rope. Immediately fail. Pretend that didn't happen. And now we cut out the lining by just laying the main pieces on top and going around them, making the skirt about mid-thigh length and the sleeves cap style, or drop shoulder length. Also no, I'm not gonna iron this massive and massively wrinkled sheet before cutting stuff out, but I will iron the cutout pieces and then come back and trim everything to match, cause for some reason that feels easier to me than just ironing the whole thing from the start. Gotta let me do things my own way. What's up, puppy? Oh my goodness. Come here. Hi. Why are we so whiny? Hi. I'm just waiting for the funsies of it. I could use this. It is big enough or long enough. I just don't know. I think I'm gonna fully put the dress together, except for the godets, and then we'll figure this out. Procrastination. The sewing of the dress is not the focus here. It's all about the design, and the putting together of the design is completely reflective of the design itself. But suffice it to say that it went poorly enough that after a few hours I was sitting in silence, eating an ice cream sandwich, staring at this mess with light desperation. This did, however, answer the question of the godet fabric because I only wanted to use the fabric I really like if the dress was going well. And it's not. This is not going well. For exactly the reason that I predicted. 3/4 length sleeves, dolman style, in a woven material, just kinda don't work. I think maybe they could work in just the right material if you put maybe like a gusset under the armpit or something. I mean, it's kind of taking me back to when I made like a retro pattern and I was comparing 3 different materials and I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this outfit so much, or I'm gonna love this dress so much. But it was a dolman sleeve 3/4 length dress, and I think it even had a gusset under the armpit. And when I tried on the final ones, I was like, I can't move. And that's exactly what's happening here. Like, there's just no movement. So I can continue following my random selections and just keep sewing this together with 3/4 length sleeves and have a dress that I will probably never wear. Or I can just say right now that this random selection was a fail and make some changes. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with the latter. not until tomorrow because I'm so over it today. But what I'm thinking is I think I just need to cut off the sleeves entirely. Cut this entirely out right here, and then maybe I'll put on like a butterfly sleeve instead. Other than that, it's pretty much staying the same. Oh, I forgot about the back slit. It's so useless on this. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I could put it on there, but what would be the point? I'm already copping out. I'm already scrapping several of the random selections, so forget the back slit. That's not happening. Also, completely on accident, I sewed the entire back side of this together incorrectly. So the inside of the fabric is facing out, which does not at all matter because you can't really tell a difference. What that did though is it changed the direction of my asymmetrical hem in the back. So now it's almost more of a rounded handkerchief hem. It is still asymmetrical. It's just not like that asymmetrical, it's this asymmetrical. Anyway, I have been having a blast today, obviously. I gotta quit for the day. This is randomly selected dresses. Who knew they would be difficult? Everyone. So the first randomly selected dress was a fail in that I ended up dropping multiple random requirements in order to make it work. It was a success, however, in giving me experience with this spreadsheet. So again, if you saw last week's video, everything I learned was from this experience. Mainly, mostly, kind of. Now let's go back in time, cause yeah, we're gonna try it all again with the peasant raglan sleeve style, and I already rolled the dice on that one so I could pre-wash fabric and all that. Welcome to the past. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the raglan sleeve version so that I can pre-wash some fabric. I'm getting so good at pre-washing fabric. Once again, we start with either a knit or a woven fabric. And I don't think I've ever made one of these like raglan peasant sleeve tops out of a knit fabric. So it would be very fascinating to try that. I need a 1 or a 2. 2. All right, well, it's woven again. Okay, I shan't complain. Once again, fabric style. God, don't give me sheer again. Don't give me sheer. It gave me sheer. All right, I'm cheating slightly because I don't want these dresses to be super the same. They're already both out of woven fabric. It at least needs to be a different type of woven fabric. So I'm re-rolling. Don't come for me. 1, heavy. Oh, okay. Well, if there was a worse option than sheer, it was heavy. Great. But now I can skip lining because we don't need a lining. We're going right to neckline. Significantly fewer options on the neckline because of how the sleeves are done. You can't really do too much. Maybe you could, but I don't think you can. So I left it with 3 options. We need a 1, 2, or a 3. 2 is a square neckline. All right, y'all, these dresses are gonna have way too many similarities. Neckline extras, open or closed. That just means whether you put like a slit with a drawstring in it or just like elastic all the way across. 2 is a closed neckline. Cool, fine with that. Back neckline, again, we only have those 3 options. I got a 1, so the back neckline is also square. I mean, that's fine, but why did I write those in different order? I don't know, I'm leaving it. All right, sleeves, we have 5 options. I got a 1, which is cap sleeves. Because it's cap sleeves, we are jumping straight to sleeve additions because there's no shape to that sleeve. You can't do anything with them. They're cap, that's it. You can, however, add an addition onto a cap sleeve. So sleeve additions, we have 3 options. I got a 2, which is a ruffle. And now we're doing waistline. I'd like there to be a waistline on this one. Please, please, do you hear me? Or dice, do you hear me? We have 6 options. I swear these dice are weighted. I'm cheating again. I don't want to make another caftan, there's already no waistline on the first dress. I want a waistline of some kind on this so we can do the cinching. Stop rolling a 6. 3. Thank you. 3 is a natural waistline, which means it's not high under the bust, it's right on the normal waist. I'm good with that. Now we get to do the waist cinch, which has a lot of options. I've got a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's not how that works. 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, I can't count. So we have a drawstring waist. Skirt shape. Don't give me go days again. I'm serious. Don't give me go days again. Not with a heavy fabric, can you imagine? Ooh. Oh, I already had forgotten that this is gonna be a heavy fabric. Crap. 3. I'll take a 3, maybe. 2, 3. Okay, it's just flared. I can do flared. That's great. Skirt length. That's too much. We don't have 8 options, right? No, we don't. A 6. We can do a 6. 6 is T-length again. I'm re-rolling. I'm saying that if it was already on the first dress, it's not allowed anymore. Except in the case of the square neckline, I guess. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, I've rolled 5 billion 8s. I didn't realize that I had that many options. 8 is floor length. So I'm gonna take those 8s that I've rolled a million times. We're making a floor length gown, apparently. Hem style. You better be straight. 1. High-low. All right, we're now doing a high-low floor length. Do we want a slit? No slit! Skirt extras, anything more than a 2 means no. We're taking that as no. And finally, pockets. 5. Welt pockets. At least welt pockets go really well in a heavy fabric. So that works out. Here's what we're doing. Woven fabric that's heavy with a square closed front neckline and a square back line, cap sleeves with a ruffle on them, a natural waistline cinched with a drawstring, a flared floor length high-low skirt with no slit and no extras, and welt pockets. Oh great, I'm excited. Do I look excited? I'm so excited. And of course, by now in the video, you've already seen if the dolman one worked out, so this one's gonna be even weirder. Let's do it. Once again, I looked for a material that I have a lot of, but don't really care about. This is a rather heavy linen looking, but definitely not linen tablecloth that I got at an estate sale. Perfection. Am I gonna utilize some of the already existing seams in my dress? You bet your britches, Claude. Why does my height always look so short when it's laying out horizontally in front of me? It's like, this can't be it. I feel so much taller than what I'm looking at every time. These peasant raglan style bodices are basically made from a rectangle, wider than you so it can be gathered across the top. Since I need a square neckline, I'm leaving it flat on top, which means I can use the existing fold to string my elastic through, maybe even give it a bit of a ruffle. Then you just need armpit gaps on either side. You can go super simple with just a diagonal line, but I'm gonna give it a bit of a curve. This is a workout. Finally, since the dice requested a flared skirt, I'm gonna flare it, and we are of course going full length to the floor. I'll cut off the high part of the high-low later. I'm gonna use the side seams of the tablecloth for my drawstring channel, and then I need the drawstring itself and some welt pockets. Before starting this, I actually took the time to pattern out a diagonal double welt pocket. The last time I did that style was on this vintage style dress, and I just wung it in my way, and I recall them being super messy inside. So this time, I'm going legit. Now we just have the cap sleeves left. I'm choosing to interpret cap sleeves with a ruffle as those ruffled elasticated straps. Close enough, it totally counts. I almost forgot to add the actual length to this piece so it'll ruffle, but I remembered just in time. So we are going with 34 inches in this curved to straight shape, and basically it'll fold over the elastic and then get bunched up, and all that curved stuff will be the ruffle. That's it for patterning and cutting out this one. I don't foresee as many problems here as with the last one, so cross your fingers for me and let's start sewing. My expectation is that the sewing will be pretty straightforward, but the final design, or the final dress I guess, won't be very good, all because of the fabric type. A heavy woven fabric is already the worst for this style of dress, and all the added design elements like the cap sleeves, the ruffles, drawstring, and floor length don't help. In fact, the only thing I'd say goes well with a heavy fabric is welt pockets. Second dress is done, like I predicted. Really not any sewing together challenges on this one. I just don't know in the end if it will really be a comfortable or good looking dress because of the fabric choice. But before we get to that final product, I am gonna make one more thing, not randomly selected. I wanna see if I can make a jumpsuit version of the dolman sleeve style, mainly because, well, I'm wearing it underneath. I kind of want another one of these jumpsuits that I was wearing all yesterday. It's so comfortable, but I kind of want one for winter with longer sleeves. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about this one at all because, you know, it's not at all a part of this. I'm just probably gonna throw it into the final product because I like showing off what I've made, and we'll talk about it a little bit afterward. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay, we gotta briefly talk about this jumpsuit first. It's so comfy, it worked great. I should not have made it out of plaid. I don't know why this didn't, you know, send off little alarm bells in my head before I started, but if you make a jumpsuit out of plaid, you're gonna look like you're wearing pajamas. But the design worked super well. It's super duper comfy with the long sleeves. It's gonna be great for winter, so I will be wearing this all the time. Just probably only at home, because otherwise it really does look like I'm wearing pajamas in public. Also, I shouldn't use plaid because you know me, I cannot be bothered to pattern match. So probably not a good idea to use plaid on something that has a seam directly down the front where it's just so blatantly obvious. That's enough of that. Let's talk about the randomly selected dresses. Ironically, I think the first navy blue one probably looks pretty good in footage. Like, just judging from seeing the camera really far away, I was like, this kind of looks okay on me, but it does not fit. It was literally like smashing my boobs in half. Because ultimately the main problem with that dress was the woven non-stretch material and the lack of a waistline. Not that that doesn't work, that totally does work, but I patterned and cut it out wrong because of that combo. So I was not making the dress as a whole wide enough because in my head I was like, well, it doesn't have a waistline, it doesn't have anything to cinch it, so you don't want to make it too big or it'll just be like very tent-like and too gapey. Ultimately, my advice here is don't randomly select things off the dolman sleeve dress design chart. It's not really made for that unless you just want to have a fun little experiment like I did. When it comes to stretch material to knit material, I think you can kind of do whatever you want. When it comes to woven material, you do have to pick and choose a little better. There are just some things that aren't gonna work as well. Now, the raglan sleeve dress, on the other hand, first of all, that one made me think I should wear yellow more. I don't know if everyone would agree. I'm not really a color analysis kind of person. I just think wear what color makes you happy. But I thought the yellow, like the bright yellow, was super fun. I do think on that dress, it basically all comes down to the fabric used. Like that would be a pretty cute design. I kind of cut my armholes too low, and so that ended up with like some weirdness here. But ultimately, ignoring the little design mistakes I made, I think that's a pretty cute dress design. It just doesn't work in a heavy woven fabric. Also, I wouldn't make it that long, or if you did, I wouldn't make it high-low. Like, a maxi would be fine, but a high-low floor length, what even is that? My nose is running. But yeah, other than the heavy fabric choice, I don't think there was actually much problems with the random selection on the raglan sleeve style. That's another really simple dress design to make, and you can do a lot with it, and I think it works so much better in a woven fabric. So whereas the dolman sleeve style, I would say if you want to go easy, do a knit fabric. The raglan sleeve peasant sort of style, I'd say, yeah, no, go for a woven. It's actually really easy to do that dress in a woven style. I just don't think a super heavy one is gonna give you the flow that you want on a sundress. This has been fun. I honestly had the idea so long ago that like, what if you had to design a dress based on total random selections? Like even before I had the design a dress spreadsheet thing. And then when I made the spreadsheet, I was like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity because here you have categories and you can just roll dice and select stuff from them. So this is an experiment I've been wanting to do for ages, and I didn't expect it to turn out well, but I think it's just a fun creativity and learning thing. So yeah, I had a blast finally doing it. Hope you had a blast too.
Oh, baby.
Yeah?
What you doing?
Stuff. Risky business. Oh my god, I look like when a whole family dresses up in matching pajamas for Christmas morning.